I moved around a lot growing up. The closest place to a home I had was my grandparents' house in Warren, Michigan. They lived there for almost 50 years. When they died, I said goodbye to the only home I ever really knew. I can still smell the bedroom where we used to sleep. When my husband Rob and I bought this house in Kitchener, we'd been living in a cramped apartment, and we were expecting our first child. I wanted a cute little house just like my grandparents had. I wanted what they had. A forever home for my family, safe and happy. We loved the area and the neighborhood. The Iron Horse Trail ran right behind the house, and we could imagine taking our child for a walk. Victoria Park was just 5 minutes away. It was perfect. It felt like home. When we moved in, we got to know almost all of our neighbors. It's the kind of street where people like to stop and chat. That's how we got to know our neighbor and friend, John Ferreira. As our son grew and we spent more and more time in the woods behind our house, we started to notice some really disturbing things in the neighborhood. We would find used syringes and condoms in the woods near the park. The police were frequently responding to incidents on the Iron Horse Trail and around the park. Suddenly, my neighborhood wasn't feeling so safe anymore. I didn't know what to do about it. I started talking to anyone who would listen to my story. I called the mayor. I called my ward counselor. I even called the local TV station. They came and did a story for the 6 o'clock news. It was about the same time that I got connected to this Crime Prevention Council through a person at City Hall who actually listened. I started working with Juanita and Michael, their community engagement coordinators, and good things finally started to happen. But suddenly my world was turned upside down. On New Year's Eve, while taking a walk with his son, our friend John Ferreira was murdered by 2 strangers on the Iron Horse Trail behind our house. John was gone. I was angry and grieving. I watched the news in horror and disbelief. I ran out back and sobbed. I felt this burning rage boil inside me. And then suddenly I felt calm and steady. I knew then, in my heart and my soul, that things must change. "This would never happen again, John," I said out loud, as I watched the police combing the underbrush down by the footbridge. It was lit up like a football field, bright as day. John's death also spurred me into action. I wanted to make a change in my neighborhood so that this would never happen again. I didn't want my community to always be known as a place where that guy got killed. The Crime Prevention Council helped to set up the Iron Horse Trail Action Group so neighbors, the city, and police could work together at restoring a sense of safety in our neighborhood. I joined the Victoria Park Neighborhood Association and automatically became their chair of the safety committee. In the spring, we organized a neighborhood festival where we cleaned up the woods behind the trail and the park. With friends, family, and neighbors gathered, we also planted a tree in the memory of John Ferreira. We planted a red oak in the green space where he died. We're making a change in our little neighborhood, and every good change makes us stronger. Ever since that horrible night, I've been more committed than ever to making a difference in my neighborhood. I've met a lot of new people through this ordeal who also share my passion for creating change. Picking up garbage makes a place look cared for. Saying hi to a neighbor or even a total stranger makes people feel not so afraid. It's taught me that little things really do make a difference. I'm in this for the long haul, and I hope one day soon I won't have to worry about my 2 sons playing in the woods behind our house or walking down the trail to visit a friend, no matter what time of day it is. I want my sons to grow up having great memories of their home too, a safe and happy place.